various. Welcome to episode 3 of the jaPODCAST, a podcast combining topics related to Japan, Jamaica, anime, video games, travel, blogging, the Japanese language, and more. Through its various features, discussions, and interviews, the podcast aims to educate and entertain its listeners. I'm your host Kirk from Jamaipanese.com. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, July 26th in the year 2015. On this episode, I will highlight the winners of the Japanese Hiragana Bundle contest I recently hosted on my blog, provide information about the Wasabi Japan speech contest, and invite you to check out an awesome interview I did with Marc Mundy, a Jamaican Jet living in Japan for a year. Let's get started. Episode 3 of the jaPODCAST begins now. A few weeks ago, I invited entries for a Japanese Hiragana Bundle giveaway targeted at persons who are just starting to learn Japanese. The giveaway was sponsored by the Japan Shop, which provides a variety of Japanese language learning resources. The Japan Shop is run by Clay and his wife Yumi, who are the authors of several top 10 books on learning Japanese, including Hiragana, The Basics of Japanese, and Hikoichi, the first in their Japanese Reader Collection series. They currently have 17 titles and are slowly adding more readers and study guides as ebooks and paperbacks. There were over a dozen entries in the contest, but only 2 could win. The lucky winners were Priscilla, who can be found on Twitter at MyLovesARevolver, and Rin, who can also be found on Twitter at by_Rin_Chan. Congratulations to both the winners, and a big thank you to Clay for sponsoring the giveaway. I'll have my own review of the Japanese Hiragana Bundle on my blog very soon. Speaking of reviews, Priscilla, one of the winners of the Japanese Hiragana Bundle, was kind enough to send me a voice recording, thanking me for hosting the giveaway and sharing a little about her interest in the Japanese language and culture. Check out the recording, and I also want to say congrats again, Priscilla, and thanks again to Clay from the Japan Shop for providing the prizes for the giveaway.
Hi Kirk, this is Priscilla, winner of the Hiragana book prize. I want to say that I'm really grateful for winning. It's been a pleasure going through the material, and that includes the digital files that accompanied the book. It's voluminous, but at least I gain a lot of knowledge when it comes to learning Japanese. I've always been fascinated by the language because I'm really interested in Japanese culture, whether it's music or anime or films. I've always been fascinated by the language. It's really lovely to hear. It's another thing entirely to learn, but I'm willing to do the work. What I really love about the prize is that it includes a writing pad. So not only do I learn how to pronounce the words and see how the words are written, but I can practice writing the words. And I like the fact that it starts, on a simple level with simple words, and then it goes on from there. I'm really looking forward to continue to learn Japanese, and this is just a great first step towards that. So thanks, Kirk, a lot for providing me with this gift. Thank you.
Still on the topic of learning Japanese, I'd like to highlight another contest, this time being run by Wasabi Japan, where the prize is a trip to Japan. Wasabi Japan Speech Contest is now accepting applications up until August 15th, 2015. Each applicant will be given a topic and invited to record a 4 to 6 minute video and evaluated on content, language skill, and delivery. Submissions are accepted up until September 15, 2015, and then on September 29th, the big winner will be announced. I'm actually considering entering myself, and if you are too, check out the show notes for details and tweet me at Jamaipanese. Marc Mundy is a Jamaican Jet who arrived in Japan in July 2014, basically a year ago. I met Marc during the send-off reception for the 2014 Jets, and I've been following along via his YouTube channel and Instagram page as he settles into life in Japan. I approached him to do an interview, and he was kind enough to participate, and the result is the most popular blog post on my blog this year so far, and it has only been published a few days. The interview touches on topics such as how does life in Japan compare to life in Jamaica, what a typical day for a jet is like in Japan, and advice for future jets. Please give the interview a read if you haven't done so as yet, and look out for more interviews with expats of all walks of life, living and working in Japan. I am also very open to suggestions on how to improve the interviews going forward. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of the jaPODCAST. I'm your host Kirk, inviting you to check me out via my social media channels at Jamaipanese on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'd like to leave you with a motivational quote from Confucius, who states, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop."